What we're going to be doing is we're going to be filling in each table of values. The first equation says y is equal to x. Well, in my table, I want to know what y is equal to. If the equation is y equals x, if x is negative 2, what's y? Negative 2. If x is 0, what's y? If x is 2, what's y? Good. The second one's a little different. We'll do that one together. If we're trying to find out y. So y is equal to 2x. What does that mean? What operation? Good. So y equals 2 times something. Well, in the first one, that something is negative 2. So we need to multiply 2 times what? Negative 2. What's 2 times negative 2? Negative 4. What do I do for the next one? Y equals 2 times 0 is? Good. Y equals 2 times 2, 4. Good. Y equals negative 1 times something. Okay, what's negative 1 times negative 2? Positive 2. Excellent. For C, if y is equal to negative 1 times 0, what's negative 1 times 0? Good. What do I multiply to find the next answer? We use the equation y equals negative 1 times 2. What's a negative times a positive? Negative 2. Good. Okay, and then the last one. Replace x with each value of x. What's negative 2 times negative 2? Positive 4. Negative 2 times 0? Negative 2 times positive 2? Good. We're going to take each of these tables and we're going to graph them. Okay, so we'll graph A, I'll graph it with pink. B, I'll use green. C, I'll use orange. Okay, label your graphs, and then D, I'll use purple. So we're going to take these points. So for the first one, I need to plot the points negative 2 is the first point, 0, 0, and then positive 2, positive 2. So the first point is at negative 2, negative 2. What's the second point? 0, 0, and the third point? 2, 2. Good. Here's the first line. This is A. Okay. So when we graph all 4 lines, so we had 4 tables, this is what each line should look like. We are going to compare now the lines with their equations, okay? So for each line, we're going to find the slope. We'll do the first one together. Doesn't matter which 2 points I choose. So for A, I'm going to count from here to here. What's the rise? 1, 2. What's the run? 1, 2. What's the slope of the line for A? Slope equals 2 over 2. What's 2 divided by 2? 1. Okay, let's do B. Count. Again, I'm going to count from here to here. Let's count the rise. Count with me. 1, 2, 3, 4. You guys aren't counting with me. Rise is 4. What's the run? Good. So the rise is 4. The run is 2. What's the slope of this line? What's 4 divided by 2? Thank you. 2. Yep. Excellent. We're going down 1, 2. So negative 2. And then I'll run 1, 2. Okay, from here to here. So negative 2 over positive 2 equals, what's negative divided by positive? Negative 1. And the last one? Okay, I'll start from here, so it's not as crowded, here to here. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4 over
1,
2. Good. Negative, right? We're going down. Negative 4 over 2 equals negative 2. I want you to look carefully at these slopes, and I want you to look at the equations of the lines back in the original question. Can you find a similarity between the slopes of the lines and their equations? So A, look at the slope. and look at the equation, do you find a similarity? If you look at the equation, the number in front of x, does anyone remember what it's called when you have a number in front of a variable? It starts with a C. Yeah? Coefficient. Coefficient of x. That means the number in front of x represents the slope. Look at the equations. What number was in front of x for b? 2. What's the slope of the line? Is it positive or negative? A and B are the only two lines that rise to the right. They're both positive. Look at C. Is it positive or negative? Good. And D is also negative. Whatever the number in front of X is, that represents the slope of the line. So you can look at an equation and be able to tell what the slope of the line is going to be. Every single one of those equations was in the form y equals something x, right? What do you think that something, what does m represent then when it's written like this? M equals, what did it represent? Which was what? What part of the line? Good. Slope of the line. So if I give an equation and I write y equals negative 10x and I say to you, what's the slope of this line? Can you tell me the slope of the line, Ishmael? Negative 10. Excellent. So I can put m equals negative 10, okay? They use the letter m to represent slope. You're going to see this a lot throughout the year. This is just a variable that represents slope, okay? Anything in the form y equals mx, m is the slope of the line. What else did you notice about every single one of these lines? They all pass through. They all pass through 0, 0. All pass through the origin. Okay? So if it's in this form, we know that m is the slope, and all of these lines will pass through 0, 0. So in these 5 examples, I want you to tell me what's the slope of each line. So number 1, y equals 2x. What's the slope? Good. 2. Number 2, Jamie. Slope is equal to? Good. Number 3, Marie. Good. Number 4, Mark. Negative 1. Excellent. We can always put a 1 in front of a variable. It won't change it. Number 5, Giancarlo. Good. Excellent.
Made with Doodlecast Pro.